everybody, welcome to Lisa's Art Room. Today we're going to be working some more on my Colors of Fall junk journal. We're going to finish it up, I believe. We're going to try. And someone's signature, stuff like that, but I've got a few finishing touches first. We'll talk about some other things. And we are live on Facebook if you just logged in. If you see the little red button at the top. If not, it's a replay. Sorry, I'm distracted because, of course, my cat just woke up and decides he wants out. I'll let him out in a minute. Anyway, so we're going to get started on this in just a minute. I'm going to get you guys pulled up so I can see the chat. Silly cat. All right, let's see. Hey, Dawn. Oh, my sticky is wore off. Sticky on my little phone holder that I made. I made these live. They work real well, but they slide if you don't have something sticky on them. So I've got like some of that magic putty stuff on there. I am going to let him out, and then I'll be right back. Kitty. Okay, I'm back. Oh, goodness gracious. So, I'm going to go ahead. Assume volume's okay. Did Dawn say anything? No, but it probably is. Y'all haven't yelled at me yet saying it's not, so I assume it is. All right, I'm going to pull the camera up top so we can get started. Oops, finger. Flip. So, do you see this pretty, shiny new grid? Lovely. Oh, I'm backwards. Why am I backwards? Hold on. It didn't flip. Flip. Oh, it did it twice. There we go. Am I straight? I'm straight. So this was in a happy mail that I received today from Miss Dawn. Thank you very much. It's so pretty and clean. I'll try to keep it that way. We'll see. So yeah, I got a really nice package today from Dawn. I have to say something. I have to give her a shout out because she sent me so much cool stuff. It's not even funny. I mean, she sent me a glue gun. So, and it's because I was complaining that my cord didn't reach the table. It like is one of those cordless. So I got that. I got ribbons, all kinds of ribbons. I'm going to show you a couple things. But look at this ribbon she sent me. Oh my god, it's so pretty. And more ribbon. And more ribbon. And some tassels and things. It was just like Christmas morning, I tell you. It was so much stuff. I was just like, oh my goodness, thank you so, so much. And she sent me one of these little paper distressors from Tim Holtz. I've never tried them. Been wanting to try one. So anyway, so that was fun. I got a pretty new mat to work with. I love it. It's so clean. It's like bizarre. Goodness gracious. Let me get my journal. I didn't bring my water over either. Hopefully I don't get thirsty. So here we go. Look at this beautiful journal. For a journal that I honestly wasn't going to do a fall one and changed my mind, decided I would do it last minute. It is really pretty. I'm actually very happy with it. So we're going to put a few finishing touches on it. I've got all the lace glued in that I was going to put on the edges. So this is all that lace that I hand dyed. Isn't it pretty? I didn't want you guys to just suffer watching me glue that in, because that probably took me an hour. And then we're just going to go through each one and pick out the few things that I don't have. Hey, Angela. Who else did I miss? Hey, Lori. All right. It is pretty. It's so pretty. It's one of those things, you just never know what you're going to create. You start with an idea, and you never know what it's going to turn into. It's always a surprise. And this lace just looks great on the edge. So I grabbed some of the lace that Dawn sent me, since it was last minute, and I'm going to add that to just a couple of pages, because I wanted to, since it's got some fall stuff, I wanted to just add it in here. So I'm going to add this one here, and I'm just using Fabri-Tac to glue these laces on. It works real well. If I can get the glue to come out. Actually, I didn't burn these. I might trim it and burn it first, because if I don't get the glue right there, these do fray really bad. This type of lace, ribbon. It's not really lace, it's ribbon. But they tend to just, they unravel. It's very bizarre how they like, they'll just start at like one end and just start going like zigzaggy and unravel on you. So I'm going to get the crazy flame out again. Just seal those off a fraction. There. I'll have to do that a couple of times, because they're all that type. But I thought this would be cute on this little sunflower paper. Fabri-Tac. Put that on there. Okay. And I marked them all. So I just want to kind of let you see the ribbon and what it all looks like. Lace ribbon, whatever you want to call it. I added this. This is on one of those little envelopes, and this is just that what do you call it, fringe paper that was made. I made some crepe paper. Is that what you call it? This stuff. I think it's called crepe paper. So I made some of that and dyed it. So I stuck one of those there, and just a couple of pieces of paper. And that's on there. This is another one I want to put a ribbon on, if I can get my paper clip off. These ribbons are pretty. They got sparkles. I don't know if you can see the sparkles, but they do have sparkles. Is it a lot brighter? Oh, well, that's a good bonus. Huh. I mean, it looks brighter to me, but I just thought it was just because, you know, it's gray, but which way? I think that way. So that's good that it's brighter. I hope y'all see. Okay, there's that, there's that. So that's the first one. I added this card that I got, It said Happy Thanksgiving. I just took one of my labels and fit it to fit in that little slot there that said Happy Thanksgiving. And I just put that in there and just did it as a little flip out. There's not really anything in there. You could add a picture or whatever. So I will be selling this for $150 plus tax and shipping. And if you're interested, you can message me. First come, first serve. If nobody messages me, I will put it up on my website. I made some of that alcohol tape that's like a faux, what did they call it? Antique tape? I don't remember what they call it. Age tape? I guess age tape. So I made some with some alcohol ink, a couple different colors. This is just regular clear tape, and then this is packing tape. And I threw a couple of pieces on here with some leaves. This is very thin paper, so anything on this side does show on this side. So whoever gets it will have to kind of keep that in mind, that if you're going to write on both sides, you'll probably want to add a piece of paper. I might actually, if I have one close to me, throw another piece of paper on there. I did it on one of them. Let's see, I had some papers cut already. I just have to see where they are. They are hiding very well. Ooh, don't pull your mic out. I can only reach so far with this mic. I don't think I pulled you out. Yeah, I'll yell if I pulled that mic out and you can't hear me now. Not that you could hear me say that. All right, there it is. Let's see if I have anything in here that's a good color. I usually color them myself. What do we got here? Anything? There's some coffee dyed. I think the rest of them are just plain. So if you just add in a piece of paper, then you could write on the one side and you wouldn't see it on the other side. So I'll just throw that in there. Oops. Let me just make this smaller. I feel like I've got that really crooked, but I can straighten it if I have to. Looks like it needs to lose about 2 inches on the top. Right. Alright, I think that's good. Just so it has like a little writing spot. So yeah, after this, I will be doing Christmas stuff. So I've got to decide what I'm going to do. I know I'm going to do just a normal Christmas journal of some sort. And then I'm probably going to do the Defember thing again. It doesn't have the little Etsy dude like it did last. What's it? Effie? Not Etsy. Effie. For short for ephemera. That's what we had last year for a mascot with them. And if you don't know what that is, you could search it honestly. But it's Barbara with 49 Dragonflies and Louisa Heinzel with Junk Journal Art, I believe. They do it every December. Well, for the last 4 years, maybe. It's been a while. And it's basically just a fun get together and make a journal with little like prompts. So they have a prompt list and stuff, and they share like either scraps or journals or something like that, and then you can choose not to or to. So there. Now the writing on here will just be kind of hidden behind there if it's written on. Let's get the pen back in. But I did it, I think last year was my first time doing it, and it was a lot of fun. I think everybody enjoyed it. So I'm thinking I'm going to do it again. Christmas is so much fun, and there's so many things. I don't know that I'm going to do a vignette, though. I just don't think I'm going to have time to do one. And so it's just what it is. So I added labels here and there. I don't know if you've been noticing, like Enjoy Nature, Feed Your Soul. I added one of the Tim Holtz little snippet ones on here. Can you see that? It says, let us imagine for a moment the golden leaves glittering in the sun. So I thought that was appropriate. And that just came from this. Okay. I might have stuck him in there. I don't remember. I think we did him together, didn't we? Gosh, I can't keep up. So there's this bookmark I was going to add. Or not bookmark, belly band. So I tried to distress it. I just don't think I like it distressed, guys. It has an interesting look. I'm not really seeing craft. I'm just seeing this kind of like shiny silvery color. So maybe I'm just not sanding it far enough down. So I might just go with this. Because this is like that core that's supposed to be craft, and you're supposed to be able to sand it and it look you know, distressed or whatever. Let's see if I sand it a little bit heavier, what happens. Yeah, I personally think it just gets ugly. I don't like the way it looks. Yeah. I don't like it. So we're not going to do that. We're just going to use it plain. It's the metallic paper from, I think, Tim Holtz? Yeah, pretty sure it's Tim Holtz. I don't have it in front of me. I'm pretty sure it is. So we're going to glue this little cutout. This cutout is from Fall Bounty, her set. And I fussy cut it, and it was tedious. I will not lie. It's a tedious little fussy cut. But I did it, so we're going to use it. I'm just going to glue it on this as a background. I thought the coppery gold color looked good. We'll see if I can get this glue on here and not dry before I get to the other end. You know how art glitter is. It's a lot of coverage. I think I cut it even. All right, let's try that. Can't tell if there's a top or a bottom. Hold on. Yeah, I think it looks better this way. Pulled part of it off. Gotta be careful with these little teeny pieces. So it's going to have glue show on this metallic, but once it dries, I can wipe it off. Just make sure that's all sealed down. Typically, once it's dry, either I can take, because this is shiny metallic, I could probably just take a wet wipe or a Q-tip with water to clean it off. Maybe even just alcohol, but because the glue will definitely show on this paper. So let me see what water does. If this is a little too wet. Where's my paper towels? There they are. Don't want it too wet. Usually I would give that a little bit more time to dry, but because this is a jet print, I got to be careful not to touch it too, because it's not protected yet. Like I could put some micro glaze on it so that it doesn't bleed anymore, but right now if it gets wet it would definitely will. I've also found that sometimes you can erase it, but sometimes using an eraser it will it'll leave a mark. And since this is so shiny and perfect, I'm gonna just be a little more careful. I just don't want the glue showing. There, I think I got it all. Okay. Put my pen back in. Oh, we need that, so I'm not gonna put that pen back in. All right. So this is going to be a belly band. I'm not going to put anything in it, I don't think. You could just put a folded up piece of paper or something. I went on Library of Congress and tried to find like just some, I don't know, like music or book pages that I liked. And I just didn't see any I really liked. So I don't really have anything to put in it just yet. If I find something, I'll throw it in there, but I may just leave it like it is. All right, there. So that'll just be a belly band for something. Like I said, it could just be a piece of paper, you know, just for writing. Obviously not this ugly white one, but if I coffee dye it, then it would be fine. You get the idea. So this is that sunflower one. What else do we have in this one? That's our center picture. And I think I added the autumn dictionary thing here. I added a little label here with this one, and it says, "The secret of everyday things is to always remember the little things." I thought that was fitting for somebody kind of going through their work day. And what else? I added paper to this. Write, write, write. Enjoy the little things. More paper. I think I added autumn. And then I want to add this ribbon. Trim just a fraction. Oh, wrong glue. Not that it probably wouldn't work, but as art glitter does work on fabric, but I prefer to use the Fabri-Tac for this type of ribbon. I don't know why. There's certain things I have certain preferences. I feel like it holds in place quicker, honestly. I think is probably the main reason. Okay. just adding a little piece of ribbon like that is nice on just a plainer page. Just gives it a little something. And this little flip out we did, and that's the end of the second one. We're going to be pulling all of this ephemera out in a second because we got to do that to sew it in. I was going to make a charm. So I'm going to make the charm live for sure. And then if we have time, I'll sew in the signature. Y'all have seen me sew these signatures in 100 times. Probably not 100, but a lot of times. So it's not something that you can't just go watch another video. There's literally nothing new about it. But I do want to make the charm with you because I don't do that many of those. So I added a little tuck there. More ribbon. Isn't that pretty? Look how shiny. I think there's a piece of tape there from when I opened it. Right. How close are we? A little bit off. Now this is definitely going to show on the other side. If it shows horribly, I think I might... I'm kind of rethinking this thought because I know what that glue is going to show. It's falling apart. Stay together. Let me think about this. I could fold it over. That might help. It'll bring it in a little bit, but it doesn't really matter. Was I going to do one on the other side too? No. I don't have one for the other side. You know what? We're just going to fold it. I think it'll help cut down on it showing through. So, really light coat of just this art glitter. Hopefully it won't show too much. That's the only thing about using this old ledger paper that I had, is it does seem to be very, very see-through and thin. I like it, but very see-through and thin. There. I think that'll be enough that it won't show through now. Oops, wrong pen. Don't put the Fabri-Tac pen in the art glitter bottle. It also makes picking up these pages and flipping them easier when there's ribbon on there. There, that doesn't show through. Awesome. All right, so there's that. I added, maybe, I think I did. I think I added this little harvest dictionary thing. Don't know if I added this. I might have. It's just got that napkin paper. And then I added 2 of those cut-out fabric embellishments that I had. Turkey time, I may have added. I'm honestly, I don't know what I've done and what I haven't done on camera. It's all mumble-jumbled together. Some more paper. And then some more pretty ribbon. Let's see. It's very close. Fray off of there. So I'm going to make a charm. I have made some charms out of paper. Oh, come on, lighter. Don't give out on me. It's out of fluid. There it goes. And I'll show you how I did those. Come on, glue. There you go. I do like adding ribbon. I don't always do it because honestly, I don't always have ribbon that just looks good. Sometimes it doesn't look good. Like in the Halloween one, I was going to add ribbon and none of the ribbon, I decided against it. So you just have to kind of go with what you got and figure it out. But I had a lot of fall stuff. All right. Little autumn. It's just another tuck. Put something. What do we got? We got something I can throw in there. Let's see. I'm running out of things. Just throw some paper in there. Make that work. How do I want to do it? I think I just want to make it smaller. Glue on my fingers. Just make it smaller real quick. And got yay big. I get these little booklets from Dollar Tree, and they always have some sort of a theme. Like this one was just little distress splatters. This one had some like psalms and things and some plants. This one was plain, but they have them. They're little booklets, and if you look for them, just always open them up and look on the inside, see what the pattern is, because there's all kinds of cute ones, and you get a lot of paper out of them. Grab my ink if I get to it. Always looks a little better inked. And one side's already inked, so. There. Oops, backwards. Goes that way. Just something to write on. I may stick a sticker on the top or something. I'll have to see what I have. Sometimes if I add a little piece of paper like that, it's fun to find a sticker. I just had a whole pack of stickers sitting here. Let's see if I see them. There they are. Sometimes you can find a little sticker like this little owl. See if I can get them off of there. Gonna come off. Maybe I can get them off of there. Oh my goodness. Really? There it is. Got the edge of it. And we'll just stick them up here on the top. And it's just something. And he'll peek out. There. Cute. Okay, and that is that. So this journal is done. So we set it aside and we're going to work on our charm. So I already have an eyelet and a hole in here. Okay, just put it in there with my crocodile. So we just got to make a charm for it. Get all my stuff out of the way here. Back in there. Get some of these ribbons out of the way. All right, so charms. Let's talk about charms. So I like to make my own little charms. If I have things that I want to make it out of. And this one, I made a bunch. Some were nature journal, I think. Now these are what I call, I saw them on, I want to say Saacibo. She did them. They were what she called loyalty card charms. And it's basically you take one of those cards that you get from stores and such that are plastic, and you're done using it and you're going to toss it because it's expired or whatever. And I'm trying to see if I have one. And you turn it into a tag. Okay, like something like this. This is an old AAA one, okay? This one's different, but you cut them up, you paint them, you put paper on them, glue it down, put a hole in it, and it turns into a nice sturdy charm. Okay, I have a video where I did it, and there's also her video that I'll try to remember to link. Now these I did with, there's two there. These I did with the packaging from my transfer. So let's see if I have it here. I think I said it here, so I would have it. Did I? Yes. Yes, I did. Okay, when you get a transfer or whatever from Essential Stencil and other places, typically there's a little tiny preview kind of thing. Okay, and you can make charms out of that. Like these little sunflowers. I could have cut those out, but I didn't do those. I just did these. So I took the whole picture that was there and I cut them out. Okay, so I cut them out and I'll show you all the steps. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit. So, like this, cut out the little thing until you have, you know, a little piece of paper. These here were from one of the papers I used from the paper we've been using. I don't know what it's called. This paper. Okay? It's just paper. And these I doubled. So I took two that were reversed. I had to take the straw off because the straw wouldn't reverse. But say I took these two and I backed them together. And it doesn't always work. You have to have two images that are reversible, basically. So this one had one that's facing that direction and one that was facing that direction. So I was able to do it with that one. It's not always possible, but sometimes it is. So you just have to kind of look at what you have. These I only had one image of. So I backed those with just some fall paper. This happens to be like a plaid. And I backed those with that. So got the paper all ready. And then once the paper was ready, let's see if I can show you, because I need to show you the whole process. Here. Half tempted to do one of the little doggies, but I'm not gonna. Here, we'll just do this. So you cut it out. Okay, back it with some paper. Just glue it on there. I'm not going to get too into this, but you can also use those little wooden pieces and just put a hole in them with your crocodile. That'll make a nice charm. I have a few that I did somewhere. I think they're sitting on my table here somewhere. I'll have to find them. I don't know. But there's one. I also did one with a circle. Just some fall paper. So I'm going to show you how I make them look like this. There's an acorn from the paper we've been using. The Fall Bounty had those acorns, and they do reverse easily. This is a teeny, teeny, tiny little cupcake. See it? It's teeny, teeny, tiny. Bigger cupcake. Some I have ribbon on that I glued in between. So if you're going to do that, you have to have your piece of paper. You grab your ribbon. Okay, and grab your ribbon, loop it, however you want, and put it in there before you glue the other piece of paper on the other side. Okay. But I did that on ones that were too small for a hole or anything, or maybe I thought it wasn't going to work. Like this one, I just did it because I don't know why, but I did. So some of those, we got some of these. This I just cut out of a piece of thing that says trees. It says beech tree, and I don't know what kind of trees, but it said trees, so I turned it into a leaf. Some sort of paper. I don't even know where the paper came from, honestly. So then you take some silicone or something that is resistant. I think I just used this stuff. I'm about to use this. So I'm going to put it on a piece of cardboard or something, because I'm going to have to move it. Put it on something that you can move. Actually, when you want to move it. So just put it on something with a little bit of weight to it so you can move it. Alright, so we got a little piece. Where's my tweezers? Right there. Okay, a little piece of cardboard. I guess I could go ahead and glue some paper on there if I can find a piece. Let me see. God, there's just a scrap sitting here. I say that. I know I have scraps. It's just finding them. I just want something on the back of it in case I decide to use it. Here we go. Here's a scrap that'll work. Glue, glue, glue. Normally I would let this dry, but it'll be fine, as I'm not going to do both sides of it at the same time. So, and I'll just save it for later. So a little bit of glue. Plop your backing on there. Let it dry. We can't let it dry right this second, so we're just going to go for it. Cut out your backing. See if I can follow my little zigzaggy. Okay, and then ink it if you're going to ink it, because you won't be able to ink it later. Get away all those white edges. Okay. Now you've got your piece. And then the trick is, if you do resin, you could do resin. I don't do resin. I use the glossy accents from Tim Holtz Ranger. So what I do is I lay them all out on a thing. I was using my little sticky board thing with the pins in it, but it leaves holes in these and it doesn't look good, so don't use that if you watched me do it before. This mat is filthy. Put them all on there, a whole bunch at once, because it's easier. Grab your glossy accents. Do not shake your glossy accents, guys. I'll get air bubbles, okay? Just roll it if it needs any movement done. Usually it's fine. Glossy accents. Get yourself a pointy tool so that you can hold it, because it's going to move and you don't want it to move. Okay, and then you start at one end. I'm going to zoom in. Remind me to zoom back out, because you're never going to be able to see me if I don't. Is this light enough? It does get much darker, doesn't it? How close did that get? Still too far. All right. How's that? Do you think it'll stay? Hopefully it'll stay. All right. So you start at one end. You squeeze out your glossy accent, and you want it to kind of puddle. And you want it to puddle just to the edge. Now look at it from an angle, because it's hard to see. And you don't want to get air bubbles, so don't be moving it too much or letting it spatter. So you just want to go all the way to the edge with a nice coat. Okay? And then once you're sure you got it all on there and you can see it from all angles, and you're done, tap down your bottle, and if you have a pen, that you use for this. I use a floral wire on a cork, and I just stick that in there just to make sure that it's cleared out, because these will plug up fairly easy. Okay, so clean that out, put it aside, and let this dry. It will take a while to dry, like, I don't know, 4 hours, 5 hours. It takes a while. Let it dry completely. Oh, that's out of focus. Get back in focus. I knew it would do that because it doesn't like to be close. Is it going to go back in focus for me? Probably not. All right, anyway, I'm going to move it anyway. Okay. So you can see, let me see if I can get it to show. All right, there. You see how it's clear and there's no bubbles? That's what you want, no bubbles on there. And let it dry. When it's completely dry, you can do the other side. Okay? That's how you do it. It's very easy. Set that aside. And zoom back out. So then you end up with there, one like this. Okay, you got two sides. It's clear. It's thick and it's sturdy. All right. Then you want to just take your crocodile. This crocodile and an eyelet. So for this color, I think I've been doing copper. If I can find them. I'm using the smaller size on these. You could do whichever size you want, but I think the smaller one works better, which is 1/8 of an inch. So you want to figure out where you're going to put your hole. I usually just try to find a spot that I think is a good spot for it. Now, if you're worried about not getting it in the right spot, just take a marker and mark your hole. Like, I think I want it like about right here. Don't get so close to the edge that it breaks off. I got too close on my cup. I'll show you what I mean. Okay. See how close I got to the edge there? Way too close. So make sure you stay far enough away from your edge so that it doesn't break. And you get your crocodile and poke yourself a hole. Okay? A hole. Take your eyelet. Pop it in there. And make sure I'm on the right size. Yeah. Okay. Okay? And then you've got your little charm. And then you can throw a jump ring on it, or a hook, or whatever works for you. It could be a safety pin, it could be a jump ring, it could be a bulb ring. It could be many things. I've been just throwing jump rings on them. I wish I had some like copper ones. I do not. I have just regular ones, and I only have a couple of sizes. Like, I wish I had this size in a different color. I don't. I have small and large. So I need to go buy some more. I just haven't done it. So we're gonna use this one, and then you just need 2 needle nose pliers type things. Jewelry pliers, I don't know what they call them. I call them needle nose pliers. Okay, 2 sets. These are just so that I can get it in my can without it being in the pane. And if I can pick this thing up. I don't have fingernails, guys. All right, so you want to look at your jump ring, find the little place where it comes together. Put that on one side. Okay, I'll try to see if I can show you. You see that where it comes together there? You just put that on one side, and you put this on the other side, and then you twist opposite directions. Do not pull them apart, outwards. All right, they don't go back together right if you do that. So twist it in opposite direction. And then you hook it on. And then you twist it back. The same way you did. Okay. I'm trying to stay in camera. Twist it back just until it meets where it was. Okay? I don't know if you can see it. So that's how you do a jump ring. And there you get charms. Okay? So that's how I made those charms. You can buy charms too, but charms aren't cheap. Charms are very expensive. I get little charms sometimes, but unless you catch them on sale at 50% off, which Hobby Lobby does do every now and then, they can be very expensive. Like this one, I got really lucky and got this little dragonfly. I'm not going to use it today, but look how much it normally is. Normally it's $6. I got it for $1.49 for 2 of them. I already used 1 of them. So look out for sales like that, because charms aren't cheap. And then we want to start making our little charm. So we're going to make like a dangle charm with ribbon and such. So you want to find all the little pieces that you want to use. Like I said, I may not have time to do this sewing in the signature part. We're just going to, because like I said, I do that all the time. I just don't do this part. Usually I do these off. I've got Hobby Lobby, right? Yeah. It's got these thinner fall colors, so we're going to use it today. And I just want to get, so I want it to be double the length I want it to be for this. So I got to keep in mind, I'm going to have a hook on here, and it's going to dangle down from that hook. So I have to decide what kind of hook I'm going to use. I think I'm going to use the one I used. Is it in here? I'm trying to remember where I stuck it, guys. I think I stuck them in here. Yeah, there they are. I've been using these with the chains on them. Now, I don't know where I got these. I think they're Tim Holtz, but they may not have them anymore because I haven't seen them in a while. But I'm sure you can find something similar online. So I like these because I like to take this little chain and then put my ribbon inside there. So that's what we're going to do. I think this size is good. So we're going to use this one. It's my last small one. I have a couple of big ones left. But you can also just make a ribbon and put a jump ring through it. It doesn't really matter, honestly. But I do like these because they will come off the journal if you can open them. They're kind of a pain to open. You got to have strong fingers. There. Okay. So they open up like that. And it goes inside that little thing. All right, so all these are going to dangle somewhere, not all of them. We're only going to use some of them, but I'm going to pick the ones I like. I definitely want one of the owls. So one of these owls, maybe that one since I already got a jump ring in it. And then I think I want one of these leaves. I had more leaves. Where did you put them? I saw the box. But I already poked holes in some. Where did I put them? I think I have another box. Let's see in it. Alright, I don't know where I put them. It's off of here, so we'll just grab another one. I think I want this one, maybe a brown one. I don't want to get too many charms. You can get too many and it's like overkill. But what do we got here? Oh, yellow. Not sure how well the hole will punch in that though. You got to make sure it has a spot that you can punch a hole in it. I'll do one of those. I got these. Oops, don't turn it upside down. I got these from Hobby Lobby. So this acorn still needs a hole. I haven't done that yet. I need to do that. I forgot to do that. But first, let's do this ribbon because I'm getting sidetracked. So I just grab the pieces. And then, like I said, I got to consider this is going to take up room. It's going to hang below our little eyelet. So it's going to go into the eyelet here. It's going to double over here. So that means that the ribbon itself is going to start about here. So I want this to be no longer than there. Okay, I don't want it to be longer. Now, some of these I will tie these charms onto. So it can be just a little bit longer to allow for tying. So I'm going to make it like that much longer, and then I'm going to double it. Okay, and then I'm going to cut it off. If I can find my scissors. Okay, so that means this bundle is approximately 19 inches long, if you want to know. Like I said, it's not a huge deal. But, so we got a bundle of that. These are kind of a pain to keep on this container. I usually just roll it up and then tape the whole thing. Oops, I had a piece of tape. All right, so there's that. And then I'm going to use this. I'm going to use this. I'm going to probably use most of these cupcake ones I did. And pies. Definitely going to use my acorn. I'll probably use this teeny tiny cupcake. These two leaves. What's this? Not that one. I don't know if I want two of those. I guess I could do two. Nah, I don't know. I do like this bird. Maybe that bird. Maybe that. Probably not that. I already have one similar. I have that one. It's so many. We'll do the latte cup. I thought I had another latte cup. I don't know where it went. Oh, it's right there in front of me. Gosh, I can't even see it. Snake, it would have bit me. All right. There's there. So we need more ribbon because that's not enough. And you can use fabric pieces, which I will probably do. And then I will probably need a few more eyelets. Let's see, this needs one. So another jump ring. That could be a small jump ring, I think. I think one will fit on it. Is this the medium size? I guess that's the medium size. Yeah, I really gotta buy that other size. I don't know if it'll fit on there or not. Let's see. You can get it close enough to fit. I don't know. I did get it on that one, but I'm really close to that edge. I might just do the big one. The big one's overkill. I don't know. If I make it to Hobby Lobby, I might switch them out. Maybe. Dangles with a chain. Yeah, I can see that. Sometimes I call them charm dangles. I don't know what to call them. But dangles with a chain makes sense. I didn't even know anybody else had done that. So Shauna's in it. Fraps and Scraps. I'll have to watch one of hers. Okay. Let's see. We need fabric or something. Let's see what kind of pieces of ribbons I've got. I used to use some of my wax threads sometimes too. Got some of this. This is leather. Got Got this from the Cherokee Indian Festival many, many, many years ago. We'll use a piece of that. And what else? Probably not black, I don't think. No, that's not too black. What else we got in here? Anything? We got orange. We got thread. That would work. We'll use some of that. I'm just gonna grab a few different things. I think I've got different colors of this. Maybe yellow. Let's see if I can find it. Nope, it's not in there. I don't know where I put it. It's hard to say. I've been using it, so it's probably thrown on my desk somewhere. I know I have yellow. Here's a piece of yellow. Haha. I found a piece of it. I don't know where the actual thing is. And then fabric. So we've got our fabrics we've been using, if I can find them. There they are. So I just get a little mixture, you know, to where it'll look decent, kind of full. These don't tie as well as, say, string or even wax thread. So that is something to keep in mind. If you do tie with this ribbon, it's very slippery. You'll have to glue it, or the knot will never, it'll just fall out. I like to put a couple of these just to tie things on. I think I'll just do brown. What is this color? Vintage brown. We'll just do this. I do like to have some options to tie to in case I'm having issues with the others. So we'll just do 2 of these. I got this off Amazon, this wax thread. It's what I use for my binding and other things. Sorry about the crinkly. It's probably noisy on y'all. All right. So let's use some of this plaid, I think. I think it'll look okay. Now, it's probably going to fray like crazy. So I might glue it the right length, though. So we're going to cut a little piece. See if I can tear it with it not falling apart. All right, so a little piece of that. Should I do 2? Let's do 2. A little piece of that. I might not need to glue it. It will probably fray over time, but if you glue the edge, you can kind of keep it from fraying. But it is, you know, time consuming. I got this one. Is that long enough? That's probably long enough once we trim it. Seeing how this isn't going to be glued to. So a little piece of this. I did have those plain solid ones too. See how that's fraying a lot. So if it's going to fray too much and you're worried it'll just you'll end up with nothing, do just throw some glue on it, which I might do, because it is really fraying. So usually I just take my art glitter and just run a tiny little bead. They have like fray stop and whatever, but any kind of glue will do the trick, honestly. I wouldn't use Fabri-Tac, but our glitter disappears to where you can't really feel it, so I would go with something like that. You could also sew it if you wanted to try to sew it on each side and then tear just beyond the sewing. I would sew it first and then try to tear on the outside edge, because honestly you'll never get a little piece like this through the machine. That would probably be a real pain. This one is kind of frayed, so I'm just going to throw some glue on it and let that dry for a second. These don't seem quite as bad, so we'll leave them for now. I may throw glue on after live. So I've got some solid. Where's the solid? Let's see if it's long enough. I think it's long enough. I don't remember. Okay, here's some green. I don't know how bad this frays. Does it have a salvage edge? Not really. Try to find a spot that I've maybe tore. I think this one's the safest spot. Maybe. Can't tell if it's on the grain or not. Sometimes they tear good, sometimes they don't. So you just have to try. Let's see. Yeah, no, that's not going to tear. What if I go this way? Okay. And I'm just grabbing, you know, material. Well, it's not double-sided, but honestly, once it's in there, it works fine. It's better if it lays flat. And when you tear it, sometimes it rolls on you. Try to squish it out. You could iron it, but I'm not going to get the ironing board out right now. So probably glue that side. Probably should glue the whole thing, but almost needs trimmed. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. I'm not going to overthink it. We're just going to throw a little bit of glue there so it'll stop. You don't even have to cover every single speck of it, because once it stops the thread from going the whole distance, it usually works fine. So this is just how I do it. I don't know if y'all do it different. Does anyone else just throw some glue on the edge of it? Or do you just let it fray and hope it doesn't end up being nothing? So after a while, it'll just fray down and fall apart. You won't have anything left. All right, good enough. We'll let that one dry. Should I do one more color? Maybe. What do we got? It looks good with this. That blue, I haven't used hardly any of that. Oh, this yellow is really pretty. Yellow's honestly, all these colors are pretty. We'll do the yellow because it's going to stand out the most. And I've kind of got a lot of browns in there already. It's just making a mess here. All right, let's see if we can find an edge that will tear. I'm sure there's like a grain if I could see it, but I can't quite see it, so I don't know which side it is. We're going to try this side. Oh, did you? You learned the glue trick from me. Well, that's cool. Seems to work. I just figured it was probably about the same as that fray stop stuff. Tried it and it worked. All right. The side that I tear is the one that seems to be fraying the most. The other one seems fairly secure. It doesn't look like it's the salvage edge, but it does seem to be kind of holding its own there. Don't drop. Trying not to get glue all over Dawn's beautiful mat she bought me. I told her I'm gonna cry the first time I get paint on it. You know it's gonna happen. Y'all like that? You get new supplies and then you don't want to use them because they're too pretty. Alright, I think that's enough stuff. So let's see what we got here. So we got a little bundle, and you got to decide what color do you want on the outside of your bundle. Doesn't particularly matter, but pick one. I might do that one, only because it seems to be staying together best. This one's still a little frayy. I should have glued it. I didn't glue it. I'm trying to get to lay flat. It rolled on me so much. Normally I probably would take my iron and just iron it, just so it quit rolling. Yeah, I'm gonna have to glue that piece. I glued that one up there, but I didn't glue this one. I'm picking up all these little threads on my fingers because I'm sticky. Let go. Somebody's in the kitchen. I can hear them banging pots. Probably my daughter. She doesn't like chicken wings, and we had chicken wings tonight. So she's probably down there fixing soup or something. Who doesn't like chicken wings? It's like my favorite. Alright, so I gotta figure out what we want on the outside. So I think I'm gonna do this one. And then you just want to kind of start putting it together. So let's see. We'll start from the bottom layer. So I want one of the fabrics first, and then I want these thin ones. Try to keep them together. So I'm going to put those thin ones there. Now you can glue this. I sometimes do, I sometimes don't. I don't know if I want those all together. I might do two and then do two. Gluing them does help the middle to stay together, and it just helps it to stay in place until you can get it put together. That's really all it's doing, is just kind of keeping everything in place. So I'm going to start with this. I'm just going to pick a, I think I can find my middle by looking real quick. 10 to 30, 19, so it looks like about here. I could fold it in half, but I'm not going to bother because I'm going to trim it anyway. So I'm just putting a drop of glue, that one there, and that one next to it. Okay, and then pick another color, maybe one of these, because I got two of these, so I'll do this one there. I'm going to try to get centered. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Oh, okay, that's not logical. I don't know. Oh, just fold it. Okay, it looks like it's about there. I think I'm in the right spot. Let's do this color. Okay, and then I'll do two more of these. I didn't used to bother doing this. I used to just grab it in my hands, throw it all together, but it never looked good at the top. It always just looked twisted and bunched, and I don't know, I guess it's my OCD. I didn't like it. So I started gluing them. So maybe yellow. We'll do yellow. Just a tiny drop. And then we'll do this threads. Oh, let's do this. Got that. I've got one more flat piece. Oops, I lost my middle. Where'd it go? Where is it? There it is. Lost my middle. Can't lose your middle, then you can't figure it out. Right there. I need to put a mark there. Where's a piece of tape? Okay. Stay. I'll do this leather piece. I might actually throw these two in with that too. I usually try to put these near the middle, the ones that I'm going to tie to. But remember, we're just making it hold long enough to put it together. It's not like it's holding permanently. Although it probably will hold permanently because that glue is pretty darn good. And then let's do this color. And we're going to have a huge bundle of pretty stuff. And then these two ribbons. Ribbons, and then our last color that will be the top. And this is what I chose for the top. This one's the shortest one, so I'm hoping I can, because it's not going to be cut. Some of the rest won't be cut either, but some will. I'll trim it after. So I get it all bundled together. Okay, and then you've got a nice bundle and a middle that's going to hopefully stay in place. Okay. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that chain around it. Now you can do it one of two ways. You can try to do it after or before. I usually put the chain together first because it's easier, I think. I think it's easier. I don't know if it is. So I'm going to put my chain together. So I'm going to basically hook this to this. And that should be about the right thickness for that much stuff. Now, if I feel like I need it smaller, then you can hook down lower, or take off a link or whatever. But for this much stuff, it should be about right. So, try to open this up. Just a little, hook it on here. If I can get it on there. Man, I can't see. I'm trying to see. It's very hard to see in here. There. All right. So then we've got just our little loop, like a little ring. And then I just take this, find my center, and squish it through there. Okay, so let's push it through, and I'm just going to grab one side. This is why having it all glued together helps, because you can usually find, if I can find the middle, there, grab one of these, pull it through, just one, not both of them. Trying to take both. And then go back to the middle. Are you on the wrong side? I can't tell. You are on the wrong side. Get back over there where you go. There. So then you've got your little loop with all your stuff. That brown one is confusing me. It got out of its spot. There. Okay. Make sure it's even. Doesn't have to be perfectly even because you're going to trim it, but somewhat even. Okay. So it looks all pretty. Lay it down and you're going to tie it with something. Whatever you want to tie it with. I usually just use the wax thread. But you could use the ribbon or the yarn. Either would be fine. You could even use one of the pieces inside if you want. Like if you have an extra one of these, you could use one of those. But I think I'll just do an outside one. You can do both. It doesn't really matter. Let me grab my thread. I think I'm going to go with the lighter color since that's... Where are you hiding? There you are. Let me see if neutral looks better or if the other looks better. Oops, I dropped my all. Oh. All right, neutral. Or this color. I'll go with that one. Do it as long as you want. If you want to just let the ends dangle, go ahead and do it long. And then just get it to lay however you want it to lay. And I think I usually like to just wrap it and do it. So I'm going to start an end and an end. And then I'm going to go around. Kind of snug. I'm going to go around that way. And then this one, I'm going to go around this way. Just a couple times. It doesn't take a ton. Till you get enough to hold it on there. And then tie it. It's not even, but I don't care. You can cut it completely off if you want. Just make sure you tie it good. You could put a little drop of glue in there if you want. But tie it off. And then either you can just hide those among, or you can chop them off. Both usually will work. Sometimes I just try to squish them in there so they just kind of blend. But if they're sticking out or they bug you, just cut it off. All right, so then we've got our pretty little dangle. Okay, it's got all kinds of things to tie to. So here's where you start adding your charms. All right, so I just figure out where I'm going to tie them and what to. It can be any of the things you feel like you can tie to, because some of these might be challenging to tie to. You can even tie to the ribbon if it's long enough. On some, especially if you have big things like this, you could do that. But I'm just going to find spots to tie them. And I'm also try to, while I'm doing this, you got to hold it up and see where it's going to hit, because it's going to be in that hole. So you don't want it to go below here. Okay, so I don't want my dangles to go below this point. Now, I'm not cutting it yet because I don't want to cut off my ties. So I'm just going to knot these on here. You can throw a little bit of glue on them if you feel more secure with that. I usually do. Just put a drop of glue on there, knot, that way it won't come to undone. Do make sure that if you do glue it, that it is where you want it, because once you glue it, it's harder to move it. It's not impossible, but it is harder. So put this little latte cup on here. And this could go a little, should I put this higher? It's smaller. I think I'll put it higher. I don't know. 1/2 dozen the other. All right, I'm going to try to tie this one here. I'm trying to make a the right kind of knot, but if you take your knot and you take it one way, one direction, and one the other direction, it supposedly holds tighter. Okay, so there's that. You could put more than one on it, so let's see, I want to also put a leaf on this. I didn't put a grommet in that, but it's wood, it's not going anywhere. Put a little leaf on that one. Just watching my length. And let's see. Let's do some on this side. What do we got? Oh, I didn't do that one. I gotta do this one because I want this acorn on there. Hold on. I forgot it. Do it real quick if I can see. The lighting is really dark in here. Try not to get too close. I think I'm okay. And what color? A dark grommet for that one. Eyelet, not grommet. Eyelet. Say the right word. Yeah, we're not going to get the signature sewed in. I'll do it off camera. Like I said, y'all have seen it. Y'all have seen it. It's not a big deal. I will show you after, and we'll do a flip through and all that. If I can get it in the hole. There. All right. And then we need one of these on there. Come here. Now, I could just tie it straight to that, realistically. I do not have to have this jump ring. Honestly, I might not for that, because it is so small. It's kind of overkill, so I'm not going to put the jump ring on that one. Because that eyelet's going to hold it just fine without the jump ring. You don't have to have the jump ring on any of these, honestly. It might lay slightly different, but honestly, I don't think it matters. Don't you think it matters at all? A little bit of drop of glue in there. Squish it. Alright, so there. We got a little acorn. What else? Let's do a leaf on something. I think I can tie it to an orange or a yellow, maybe. Should I tie to this yellow? You know, hindsight, I'm honestly leaning toward not having all these jump rings. They're just so big. If they were smaller, it wouldn't bug me. But they are huge. I'll leave the ones I've got, but I am going to go back to just using the eyelet on some of these because they're just, it's overkill. It's a little too much. Let's see, where do we want this one to dangle down to? A little bit lower, I think. Let's go about that. It's about as low as I can go on it. Okay, so a little leaf. Where can we put this owl? What about on this leather? You think he'll hold on that? Should we take off that or not? I'm gonna leave it for this. Let's put him maybe there. I'm hoping this leather will hold. It's very old, but I pulled it. It seems like it's strong enough. Sometimes I had some of it that was falling apart on me because it was just too old. I don't know what kind of a knot I did there, but that is not a normal knot. Right. I'm just gonna throw some glue in there before I knot it because I think it's gonna loosen up. And I hope nobody's offended by me using leather. It is by the natives. It's done humanely, I promise. It's not like anything weird. It's legal. I don't know how to put it. I grew up hunting, so you know, I grew up, we used all parts if we had to, you know, do that. Didn't waste anything. All right, I think that'll hold. It's a little thick, but it's all right. It's cute. This bird. Where can I put this bird? Let's see. Let's go on this side. Maybe this yellow one. It's a lot of charms. I don't really need all these charms. It's too many. I did get a new grid mat. That was by Miss Dawn. Miss Dawn sent me happy mail. She got me a grid mat, and she got me a glue gun and a whole bunch of lace. I'm so happy. Isn't it pretty? It's so bright and clean. We'll see how long it stays that way. All right, what do we got left? Let's use the cupcake. We don't have a cupcake yet. Maybe take a look at it, see where things are hitting. How about right here? You know what? I'm going to take this off because it's a little big for that cupcake. So, you may not want jump rings if all you have is huge ones like me. The eyelets are fine. You might just have to, I've been putting a little bit of drop of glue on my fingers so I can feed it through. All right, let's see. How about, think about there. I'll just check the height. Yeah, that's fine. It really does make a difference, doesn't it? Glue's drying out on me. Let me just wipe it real quick. Put the pen in it for a second. I get one in there or two? Can't tell. I think it's 2 loops. I think. Okay, how's that? Look at this one. We want to hang something on. I saw it. Where'd it go? There it is. Let's put something on this one. Like this. Might do this and maybe that leaf. It's going to have a lot of charms. Quite a few charms. But that's what dangles are for, right? Lots of fun. Okay, and I didn't put a hole in that leaf. Let's do that real quick. I think I'm going to do the fat side. Less likely to break on me. You never know when you're dealing with this little pieces of wood. But that should be fine. Think about there. Drop a glue. Okay. All right, I think that's all it needs. I'm gonna hold off on those. A little too many. And that should be good. So that's our little dangle. We've got all kinds of little bits and pieces. Got charms and birdies and owl, little acorn, leaf, cupcake, another leaf. All right, so there is that, and then it's got its little hanger. And it is going to go, I'm not going to sew the signature live, guys, I'll do it later, but I'm just going to go ahead and put it on so you can see what it's going to look like. So it's going to be a 5-hole pamphlet stitch. It's nothing new. I will be taking all of the ephemera out, alphabetizing it so I can put it back easy, just like I did on the last one. If you have not seen me do one, look at any of my videos that say signature, or sewing in the pages, or finishing touches, okay? And you can find me sewing in these signatures. I almost always do it. I'm not this time because I'm kind of in a rush. So I've got the little template. It's got 5 holes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, there's a top. You line it up. You punch those holes in here, all of the rows for your cover, and then each of your books, you find your center. I'm just doing a basic explanation. You fold it in half and you punch just your center holes. Okay, and then you sew each one in. Like I said, watch any of the other videos. I've got tons of them. So this is going to be like this. When it's closed, it fits just right. It's not gator mouthed. It's just the right size with all of the lace. Looks very pretty. Comes right to the edge nicely. Okay, and we've got our little eyelet there for our dangle. So yeah, figure out where it opens. Open that up. Stick it on there. and then we're going to trim it so it fits. So once you get it on there, see where everything hangs down to. Make sure you didn't get any charms too low. I was pretty careful about it, so there's none too low. And you just figure out where it hits to. Grab a hold of it. And you don't have to. I mean, you could let it all hang down, but I don't like it to go below because it doesn't stand on the shelf as well. So I usually cut mine. All right, and then it hangs just at the bottom, just like that. Okay. All right, guys, that is it for tonight. Like I said, I'll do this off camera. I will do a flip through with it on camera. Maybe Monday. Maybe Monday night I'll do a flip through of it so you can see it. I don't think I'm going to do a Sunday because I just got a whole bunch of planning to do right now. And I need to get all organized for the next project. So I'm going to skip my stencil Sunday. Honestly, I don't have any new stuff to do really anyway. So I'm going to skip it. Ouch. Alright, so that is our journal. I think it's really pretty. I'm very pleased with how this one turned out. If you want to purchase it, let me know. And you can buy it. Alright, guys. Let me make sure I'm zoomed all the way out now. There. Alright, so I will see you guys on, let's just say Monday night at 9 p.m. Eastern to do the flip through, and then we will talk about our next project. Okay? All right. Y'all take care. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. Bye-bye.